welcome to Foundry Files, episode 32. I'm Admiral Murphy.
And I'm weary as ever. I'm actually here for a consecutive week for a change.
Wow. Dude, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm quite impressed right now. How do you do it?
No idea.
We'll have to find a professional. But anyway, yeah, so currently this is time travel magic because this is being shot a week before it comes out because I'm right now in Colorado being attacked by bears. So most likely if I don't know, but if I have been attacked by bears and I am killed, there won't be any more Foundry Files. But thanks for watching, guys. It was really nice. But if I somehow manage to survive the Coloradian however they're called out there, it's far away. However, if I manage to survive that, then we'll have a Vegas episode, which I hope will be cool. So that's coming up, so stay tuned. That will be done live, Trek Radio. Yep.
I won't be on that one.
Yeah.
Because I would be about halfway in my country. So don't expect me to be in that one. I think Murphy's...
Is there any dangers where you're going?
No, it's London. Apart from the heat and congestion over there.
Okay.
No.
Just watch out for viruses and stuff. You know.
I create them in my sleep.
Oh man, that's terrible, man. I'm surprised they haven't locked you up yet.
But yeah, anyway, I think Murphy, you said you were going to do a few tutorials on the Foundry while you were there at Vegas, weren't you?
Yeah, it's just basically going to show off the tool, probably do a tutorial, and that watch my Twitter page. You can follow me on Twitter, Admiral_Murphy. I'll probably tweet out when that's going to be because the schedule has not been released for what's going on at the convention, and it usually isn't until like the day before, which is kind of messed up in my opinion. So once that's out, we'll determine when it's going to be. But anyway, so we don't know what the news is for this week. Hopefully they maybe announce something amazing, like, oh my god, they fixed the Foundry. But since we're shooting this a week early, we don't have that. Sorry. But you can tune into there's other Foundry podcasts out there that will be able to hit that information, and we'll probably cover it when we get back. But what we are doing this week is our summer top 10 list. We did one back in winter, which was awesome. And so we decided we'll do an update on that because it has changed quite a bit. There are still a few missions that have remained on the top 10 list, but we assume we also picked up some new viewers. Hopefully, that's the goal, I guess, to get new viewers within 6 months. But the goal is to hopefully, for new viewers, they'll get the current list. You can also go back and check out the last list because some have not remained on the top 10 list, but they're still good.
So episode 10, what we shot before Doom the. As it's sort of nickname. So yeah.
So Wee, what are some of the episodes that were covered in episode 10, though? Because they're still pretty good if people want to check those out. What were on the last top 10 list?
Well, at number 10 last time was Rise of Darkness Part 2, but things have altered a bit. Rise of Darkness Part 2 is down in 20th as of now, so it's actually doubled its position from where it was 6 months ago. Well, actually, it's more like 7 months ago, but that's not quite. But 20th place, 10th. You can tell a few things gotten in between, can't you, really? Number 9 last time was Temple of Pares, which is... Actually, where is Pares? I've lost it.
It's
right above it. Actually, it's in 19th. Yeah. It's in 19th place. How convenient. There we go. A New Breed of Warrior, which was the 8th position, is now in 16th. Few things in between, so they've been broken up slightly. They haven't been all clustered together downwards. A few missions have come in between, have gone ahead of them, that kind of a thing. Own Worst Enemy was in 7th place. One of the better missions we've ever played, and it's in 14th, so it's been pushed off, but we still reckon it's one of the best missions we've ever played. In 6th, The Needs of the Few. Wasn't this the one that broke our score sheet?
I don't want to say broke. We did. It got high up there because there wasn't a lot of gameplay value. So it's not going to be something that if you're just a gameplay fan, you're going to love it. But for what gameplay is offered in this mission, it is quite good. That's why it did score quite good in the gameplay because what's offered is quite fun. If we factored into the fact that it is a non-combat mission, but we're going to judge it for combat, it wouldn't have gotten as high up there. But that's not fair. So that's why it's where it's at today.
It's in 12th place, just behind Forever Action Part 3. So it's been pushed down slightly a bit, but it's not quite the top 10 anymore. And it's behind it's the mission Forever Action Part 3. The the one with the most sorry score, and it's only just not in the top 10. And I think both of us are kind of like,
love this mission. This is my favorite.
Close. That's really close.
This is on my personal probably top 5. This is a fun mission. I love this one. So we'll have to do a top 10 story mission list and all that stuff. But you can find all these facts if you go to jupiterforce.org. Under the Foundry Files section, there's a past reviews thread. It's at the very top where all our episodes are listed. That will give you access to the Google Doc where all these scores can be found of all the past missions. But we're here to tell you why these got on the top 10 list and why you should go play them. So what do we got first, Wee Wee? What's number 10?
In 10th place, which was 5th last time, Rise of Darkness Part 1, with a score of 8.14.
So I always give Rise of Darkness a lot of crap, but Part 1 was actually quite good. I did enjoy Part 1.
Part 1 was good. Part 2 was the ones we had the issues with.
Yeah, lots of bugs.
Weird, pointless maps, yeah. Still fantastic though, but Rise of Darkness Part 1 was probably the better of the two, which at least we consider. So it's still up there, still in the top 10, and we reviewed it. It would have been nearly 2 years ago now, I want to say.
It's been a while. Stoked. It was on Stoked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think even Stoked reviewed it before Foundry Files, because Chris and Jeremy were like, "Oh, this mission was on Tribble and Stahl plugged it." So
yeah, I remember that. Stahl plugged it in one of the, and I think it was an engineering report at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, they used to do a lot of reports back then. Now it's just quiet. Just talk to us, Cryptic. We like you. Just
the Rise of Darkness Part 1 by Jake81NX, I think it is.
And it's on holodeck now. I always said it was on Tribble, but we reviewed the holodeck version. It's on there. You can play it. I hope he's worked out the bugs that were with Part 2, because Part 2 kind of did ruin the two-parter. It's like, it was like the Mass Effect trilogy, where everybody hated the ending of that, so it kind of ruined it for everybody. It's kind of the same thing here. But it was mainly because it was a long mission. When you suffered from these gameplay bugs that made it go even longer, that kind of hurt it. But Part 1 was really good. I did quite enjoy it. And there were some cool things to see in that. But anyway, at number 9 here, we've got Depths of Nukara Prime. A new one.
By P_Sutherland.
So this was also it was a contest winner, from what I believe. Yeah, it was the contest winner and a spotlight. So it's definitely
and the score of 8.15 puts it 0.01 ahead of Rise of Darkness. 0.01.
So just barely.
That's very close.
Yeah.
Very close.
You know what? In fact, the next one I see is only 0.02 above it. So that's going to be fun to talk about. But yeah, so this was one of the first Tholian missions we had played. Because again, it's been hard to author Tholian missions even still. But this was the one that I thought did it pretty well. Pretty good map construction as you go down to Nukara. An interesting story with an interesting turn halfway through. That was cool to see. Stuff like that. What did you think overall, Wee? That's what I loved about the mission.
Yeah. Depths of Nukara Prime was one of the missions where I explained why the Tholians were there in the first place. I mean, I explained it more in the episode, but generally that's why I liked it the most, and a couple of references to some of those other missions, which is always nice to see as well. So that's probably why it's in the top 10. In 8th place is one of Revo's missions, Part 5 of his Nightmare series, Into the Nightmare, which is Part 5, which got an 8.17, 0.02 above Depths of Nukara Prime. So it's one of the top 3 KDF missions that's actually on the list.
Yep. And
it's won by Revo. And Revo is probably, his series is up there, I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
In the Klingon side at least. So he's one of the better Klingon authors out there on that side. And his mission's been up there a long time. But I think generally the mission needed updating, didn't it, really? I didn't really see any need to
I know the first missions of the series definitely needed some updating because they were old. I know the last ones, they felt pretty good. But from the end of the Nightmare was a great conclusion to a great series, because I honestly felt that this is where so everybody's played the Fakiri story arc, and I did quote this when we originally viewed the mission. Everybody is always like, for the Klingons, oh, you don't like the Klingons? What about that amazing Fakiri story? But it kind of dropped off. This is what should have happened right afterwards, this whole series. So if you want to know what happened after the Fakiri plotline, when you went to Great Thor and all that stuff, this is a great series to continue that, because it was fun and had a really great story to tie things up.
Mm-hmm. In 7th place, Hero of the Empire by, who was it again, Beth?
That was Rogue Enterprise, I believe.
Rogue Enterprise, of course, yeah. Our famous Rogue Enterprise, who did Almost Enemy. 8.22, which is only 0.05 above into the Nightmare Part 5. So it's pretty close. So those bottom 5 of the top 10, so it's pretty close. It gets a bit of more of a skew as it gets later on. It gets a little bit closer as well in 1 or 2 places. But generally, the bottom 4 are pretty close together.
Yeah.
They're within like 0.1 of each other, which is pretty good.
So Here of the Empire was really an interesting mission because at first it seems really, really simple, and it's just protect this freighter as you go around. And I think the thing that really makes this mission is it gets a lot of Klingon culture right, whereas most of the Stowe game doesn't really focus on that. It's just kind of the, big epic battles and stuff. But all the time you would hear stories of Klingons who exaggerate the crap out of things, and this mission does that, and it's really fun to see that happen.
Yeah. This is one of the more original missions I've ever seen, especially the fact that it's Klingon. I really like it. Mm-hmm. It's completely understandable. Rogue Enterprise has done a fantastic job of a completely original idea in both technical and story perspective. So this mission, it's just fantastic for a Klingon. It really is. You have a compelling story which you act out, and then it's just brilliant.
It also had the cool thing. Yeah, I loved the tech that was where you would go to a point and you could say, okay, then they went through engineering, or then they went through the shuttle bay, or stuff like that, and it would completely change the course of the mission. So it was truly multi-pathed, and that was cool to see too.
So when you're following the freighter, it got around the fact that the actual freighter couldn't move. So you had to follow it rather than it follow you, which is a good, fantastic workaround, and something I'd like to see more of, to be honest.
Yeah, Rogue Enterprise is great at doing this cool technical workarounds that you don't see in many other missions, and he did deliver on this one as well, so that was cool to see. Mm-hmm. All right, what's next?
The top-ranked KDF mission in 5th place. No, actually, you know, is it in 6th place? 6th place, which is Infiltration Point, Part 4 of the Nightmare series, with a score of 8.36.
Yeah, so we basically said why the series was really successful in that. I like to say, when we all look at the featured episode of the Ramen series, everybody always regards Part 4, the Coliseum, as the best. And I see the same effect here, because a lot is revealed about what's going to happen in the conclusion. And that goes for this series as well. A lot of cool story stuff is revealed, where my mind was blown by it. And it was the first time I was like, wow, this is probably one of the best missions I've played. And that's for a Cleon. And I was just like, whoa, because I hadn't gotten that feeling from a Cleon mission in quite a while. I don't think I got it from any of the Cleon missions Cryptic made. This was the first time I was like, whoa, awesome.
But yeah, the Infiltration Point series and the entire series, the Nightmare series, well worth it. And it's a Klingon mission, so like I said, it's the highest ranked one, and it's in 6th place. So the rest above them are fed. So at least we have a few Klingon missions up there. I think before there might have been, I can't remember how many Klingons were. I don't think there were any, were there? Before there might have been 1 or 2.
I think there was 1. It was.
I think that might have been. I think it was a New Breed of Warrior, actually.
Yeah, because all the ones we just all the ones we just covered weren't on the top 10 list before. Mm-hmm. But next up, what is it?
5th place, In the Shadow of Midas, Part 1 by Green Dragoon.
Not Green Dragon. Green Dragoon.
With 8.43.
That's pretty good. This is the series, I think, one of the early ones we reviewed. I don't know if it was on the top 10 list last time. I think we reviewed it right after we had done the top 10. But looking back at this, I want Green Dragoon, and I've told him in the past when I've guest hosted on Foundry Roundtable to finish this series. Finish it, man. I want to know what happens next.
This mission was highlighted not only for good story, but for fantastic technical work. This is 3rd place in our technical section. 3rd place.
It's crazy how fun this mission was. I mean, okay, so the basic premise is the Midas Ray, remember, that used like miniature wormholes to communicate with Voyager, where they found a way to make these wormholes bigger, so now you can just go anywhere in the galaxy, basically. On a certain timetable, you know how the Midas Ray only worked like once a day or something like that. Same thing here. But it was cool because you go on this mission far into the Delta Quadrant to go rescue one of the ships that went out there to do some of these exploration missions. And stuff happens. Cool stuff happens. I don't want to get into it, but it's really cool. So go play the mission. It's highly recommended on all fronts.
Mm-hmm. And now we get into the final 4. 3 of them which you'll be familiar with. They're still there. City of Pomare, 4th place with an epic score of 8.55.
This, yeah, it's a fun one.
Yeah.
I don't know. You have to go back and listen to what we said about it, but this is probably my favorite one.
You just can't sum it up. You have to watch the episode itself.
So much. This is a Star Trek movie, honestly. This is like... And you know what? It's better than most of the Star Trek movies that have been made. Because I did a whole rant yesterday about the TNG movies and why they were bad and crap like that. This would be way better than the TNG movies in my opinion. Because this was a great story with some great action, great background, cool technical workarounds. This mission has everything. And personally, I'm putting this at the top of my list. This is my favorite mission to go out and play probably. Because it was great all around.
Some of the best technical work we've ever seen. Completely original maps that fit some of the assets.
Yeah.
Actually put in space, which is brilliant as well.
It's a long mission, but it's well worth it.
Mm-hmm. At this point, I think we said that Alamak was still trying to get used to more gameplay features. He didn't quite get it nailed, and not until Balnar Moon. But at this point, Paul Murray had a fantastic story, fantastic technical work, and some pretty good, decent gameplay features as well.
Yep.
And of course, the final three. The one that was the very first one we reviewed, Spirits of Ramek Nor, is still in the top three.
Yep. This was one of the first missions that people gave a lot of high praise for Almac, and it was really good. I don't like it as much as City of Palmarie, but it was very good. A lot of cool technical work was done on this, an interesting story. The gameplay was alright. I don't remember it being super amazing, but it was still good. So a lot to go for this mission. We did talk about this in the last top 10 list, so you can hear more about it there. But yeah, it was fun, and
0.56, but 0.01 above Palmarie.
He got his...
We covered this last time as well, and in that when we reviewed Palmarie, it only just got under it. Palmarie under Ramek Nor. So that's an extremely consistent score that you've got for those two missions, one after the other. Is this the second one? Is this the first mission he did after Ramek Nor?
Yeah,
it was the same score.
It was so funny running Tim in Vegas because he did bring that up. He goes, "Didn't I not make my beat my first mission by 0.01 on your score sheet?" And I go, "Yeah, you didn't live up to your expectations, man. Come on." But no, it was a fun mission. It's so funny too to think back at it that was our first review. And I went back and rewatched that a few months ago, and it's so bad. I laugh because we didn't have the same format we do now. We had 5 people on. We jumped around so much. I was nervous as heck to talk in front of people. Just like, ugh. So, but it still holds up. It's a great mission, so check it out.
So brilliant, yeah.
Whoa. Was that a temporal anomaly or something? Whoa. Oh, that explains it. I got my TARDIS shirt on now, so...
Well, I'm wearing exactly the same, so it doesn't make a difference anyway, does it?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties, so the next two are going to be reviewed. Yeah, the audio glitched. It went... and the video froze.
Like 2 minutes of the recording. Not normally when we have these kind of difficulties, it's sort of...
the whole thing's lost?
The whole thing's... But to the point, we'll finish the last two.
Yep.
Avenging Resolution Part 2 is the second placed ranked with an 8.57. That's 0.01 above the
these are so close.
It's like, how close is it? It's like that's like 2 separate sections in the top 10 where it's that close. It's like, what's the deal with it?
And this mission is pretty consistent. You look at it's like story, technical, and gameplay. They're all around 8.6. With story being like 8.7, so this mission all around is pretty good on each category, which is the perfect thing for one of these top 10 missions, is that the authors managed to successfully make everything good. So there's one for everybody, and it's just an all-around good mission. And
this is, of course, probably going to be a memorable mission for not only for being so good, but also for the fact that it's the first mission we have that separated Alamax missions.
Yeah.
Second place, it's ranked Ramek Nor and Palmarie down a level.
Yeah, so it's the first one that's broken it. It didn't get past all of his, but it's gotten close. The also interesting thing is this is actually doing quite well on the broken search menus in Stowe. Like, its 5-star rating is pretty good. It's 4th from the top or something like that, so it's beating like farming missions.
Definitely top 10, maybe like top 5 or something.
That's quite an accomplishment, because I think this is the highest story mission beyond the Spotlight. There might be one more above it, but I'm not sure.
The thing about this mission is, with Alamax mission, we've got a heavy orientation to story and technical, and with some bit of iffy gameplay things that are kind of fixed towards some of his later missions. But Avenging Resolution is consistent across the board, with like an 8.7, 8.6, that sort of thing. So this really shows consistency is the key, not only in general, but especially in Foundry missions, if you have a consistent score across all three, then you will have a good mission. You have a fantastic gameplay, fantastic maps, and a fantastic plotline to go along with it, and you're sorted.
Yep. So again, this is a good mission. I'd recommend go and play it.
And of course, the one mission which we probably expected to still be here at this point, the Mains of Balnar Moon at the very top.
No, it didn't shock us. I think I predicted last our winter review that it is still going to be in the top of the top 10 list by the end of this year. So it's on a good track right now with my prediction. But yeah, Mains of Balnar Moon. I don't know if it's my top favorite of Almax. I think it's City Paul Marie still. But this is a great mission all around because he did improve his gameplay quite a bit.
Quite a bit compared to Paul Marie. It's significantly higher, the difference between this and Paul Marie, than it is between Paul Marie and Bramlett Nor. Because there's only a little bit difference between the first two, but this, compared to Paul Marie, is huge. It's a huge improvement. And the technical section just goes along with it as well. And actually, if I recall, the little sort of the base that you were on, it would have been entirely one map if there weren't for a few limitations around it.
Yeah.
It would have completely one map because he built the entire base, and there's even like a force field or something you can go down, and which you come up through later in the mission. So it's like, besides a few limitations, this kind of shows this technical section really is like at the very top, not only for general mission, but as far as technical, this is outstanding as far as map is concerned.
Yeah, really. For sure. I liked this mission, and it's not going off the top 10 anytime soon. I don't even think it's going to get off first place, but that's your challenge, is to do it. Are you going to make your little gamble?
No.
Do it. Just do it. No. You did it in the last recording. I'll make it for you.
No, I'm going to do it this time.
Okay.
I will be very impressed if there was one above 9, or at least be this. A 9 or above, and you'll have
a cookie. Okay, people, I'm gonna argue for past Wee Wee here because he promised this, and even though the audio for this is lost now, he's still promising it. He promises you any lockbox ship if you get above 9. That was his promise, and he's keeping it no matter what recordings were lost. So, and I called him out as I'm not doing this at all because I don't have the money for a lockbox ship. Most likely the Jem'Hadar one, because guess what? That one's pretty expensive. That's not a lockbox ship though, I guess, so that one's out.
Well, any lockbox ship, a lobby ship would do, really. Even a shuttle would do. So actually, that's a good plan. I'll give you a shuttle. Instead of getting a lockbox ship.
I thought you said they could request it though, not you pick it. They requested it.
Damn, could have gone with that.
Oh, I'm fighting for you, audience. But yeah, so I called him out on that stupid idea of his because it's going to happen. So now somebody please beat this. I want to be wrong by the time the end of the year comes.
Don't you? It's not going to happen. The very next mission is going to have a 9.
Hey, if you think you can bring down the Mains of Balnar Moon, right into us, because we're off for the next 2 weeks. Because
you kind of deserve the ship, to be honest, if you really that high.
Really, you do. But yeah, so we're off for the next 2 weeks. We's going to London and probably dealing with. There's no bears there like bears are in Colorado, but
there's no, unfortunately, there's no police boxes or crashing ships into Big Ben.
So you just have to worry about the doctor showing up, and there's going to be some trouble then. But if you go on an adventure with him, take pictures with me. That'd be awesome. I want to see some pictures of that. But yeah, so we'll be off. So next week we're technically off. There won't be a recorded version out for a while. I'll be at the Vegas Con though, doing a live show, showing off the Foundry tool and what it can do and all that stuff to new people, because of course it's at the convention.
I won't be available for, so it will just be him.
Yeah, and anybody else who shows up, I don't know who will be my co-host then. It could be Mav, could be another Jupiter Force member. I don't know. We'll find out then. But so you can tune in live for that. There'll be the Trek Radio live stream that's going on from Vegas. You can tune into that. I don't know the time yet because the Vegas schedule is not out, so I'll be tweeting that out. So if you follow me on Twitter, you can leave my little tweet. I'll tweet it. I'm doing the thumb motion. Don't know why. I talk with my hands a lot, if you haven't noticed that by now. To happen. Okay, before Wee gets creeped out anymore, I'm gonna hit the stop button, and we'll catch you guys in when we see you.
Bye.